Awesome. Come on out, guys. It's time for the review. What's going on, guys? Hope you're having a great week. I know I am, because I'm back with another Gunpla review. Today we're taking a look at the Gundam Breaker Battlogue Gundam Ground Urban Combat type. Now, before I dive into this, why don't you go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell so you can keep up with me as I try to get through all the rest of these Battlogue kits before we get the rest of our releases in March, May, and June coming up. The Gundam Ground Urban Combat type, made from surplus parts from the RX-78, had strict quality assurance standards, as you can tell based on how flexible those double-jointed knees are and those lovely calf holsters for his beam sabers. The flexible skirting really enables lots of good posing. He was given the North America type color scheme, which is also known as the Cincinnati Bengals color scheme, although he did not quite meet the forehead requirements to be the quarterback, but that's okay. Hooday. He comes with a wide variety of armaments, which include a 100mm beam machine gun, a beam rifle, 2 beam sabers, a bipod shield, the 180mm cannon, and the exam system for the anti-new type machines, which is installed in the head, and the camera units light up with a red hue, as you can tell with the eyes when it's activated. Similar to the Psycho Frame NTD system, I imagine. The orange stickers included in the kit, while seeming a little bland and two-toned, actually do a really good job of accenting and making it pop. The metallic types, as seen on the calf holsters, are arrows that do a nice job of getting your attention and saying, hey, there's something in here. The matte types on the shoulders, arms, and legs do a good job of giving you a minimalist color break and otherwise making the drab dark gray on the majority of the body into something a little more interesting to look at. Looking at this kit in stores, I was honestly pretty underwhelmed with the overall appearance. It just didn't really pop to me the way that like the red frame inversion did, or the Wing Zero, the Command Quanta. But having actually had it in my hands, built it, and manipulated it, there are so many great details and articulations, as you've already seen, but also the details on this backpack, that it slides open and the boosters move. You can equip the backpack with all of his extra gear, is really cool. I will say though, this backpack is super heavy, so it's a good thing he has such articulate ankles and legs that you can position him into more of a forward-leaning pose. That way he can counterbalance the weight from the backpack. One other note on the posing, the way that they have the torso connecting to the midsection and the waist is so awkward. It's one of my least favorite constructions, and I've had to put together a lot of IBO kits with awful torsos. The torso connects in 2 parts, front and back, and the head slides into the middle, and there is a single polycap with a ring that fits into the front of that you have to then pop into the midsection, which swivels freely, and then connect it to the waist. And that piece pops out all the time. I wish it was better, so that's a big negative. Speaking of pieces popping out, we can slide this beam cannon right out of the back of that backpack, take it apart, and we will throw it together. And we'll also throw the ground type right off of the base. Poor guy. This cannon comes in 4 parts, 2 parts for the barrel and 2 parts for the stock, with a clip that connects to the top. All of them coming apart and fitting into the backpack as I showed you. This cannon is truly imposing and allows you to really set up some dynamic shots that goes hand in hand with the articulate posing abilities of this urban combat type unit. Now, having given this kit a once over or 2 or 5, I am very appreciative of all of the gimmicks that this kit has. It is so articulate, and if you were to blindly tell me that the Goof Crimson Custom and this Gundam Ground Urban Combat type were from the same set and I got to handle both, I would tell you you're lying, because the difference in the articulations is so vast. So while aesthetically this kit still isn't my favorite, the Gundam Breaker Battlogue Gundam Ground Urban Combat type is easily one of my favorites to play with, manipulate, and pose. Alrighty, everyone, and that's all I've got for this week. Let me know what you think about this kit down below. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do that so you can be with me next week for our next Gundam Breaker Battlogue review. Next week, we're taking on the 00 Command Quanta. And as long as I have this backlog, I will see you guys next week.